We picked up this really heavy-duty dresser on Marketplace. Drawers were all over there. It was a little banged up. Randy sanded the top down, and in spots he sanded it so much it was down to bare wood. So first thing he did was use some brown gel stain to kind of catch up those bare spots, and then an ebony water-based gel stain. And now I have given him Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in black. So he's going to finish the top here. The front of the drawers, the front face, and the sides of the dresser will end up being painted. So he's going to use Dixie Belle's Boss, and that prevents any bleed through in case there is any. And the feet are also done like the top, black. So then there will be a special finish on the front. You fix this?
Fix what?
The drawers. They used to go in too far and they needed to be flush, and now they're flush.
Well, I was gonna add a piece of wood, and I thought about it, and I'm like, I don't need but 1/4 of an inch.
What do you mean?
Because it was a 1/4 inch difference. They went back 1/4 of an inch. So I needed to come bring the drawers out 1/4 of an inch.
From where the block was.
From where the stops were.
Okay.
So I give it a little thought, and you know the old saying, think smart, not hard.
I think smarter, not harder.
1/4 of an inch. Handy dandy pads.
So you stack the pads on the stops.
I cut them in half, and I put a pad on each stop. And now when you close the drawer, not only do they stop at the right place, but it's quiet.
You're so smart. Well, that's great, because this will work. It wasn't going to work the way it was before. I didn't know how I was going to fix that.
Yeah, well, blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then.
I want a textured finish on this chest of drawers. So I'm going to show you on the actual drawers how I'm getting this. Our rooster says good morning.
I bought them for you. Graceless lady, you know who I am. You know I can't let you slide through my hands. Wild horses couldn't drag me away. Wild, wild horses couldn't drag me away. I watched you suffer, taking pain. Now you decide to show me the same. Your sweeping exits
You know, you've heard the saying, experience is the best teacher. And while that's very, very true, my husband also likes to say experience is the most expensive teacher. His business is in the construction trades, and you know, when you have a problem or a mistake or something that you've got to find a solution for, it's either going to cost you in materials or labor, time, or both. In my videos, I like to show things that didn't work when I have a problem, as well as things that do work. A couple of things I would do differently if I were starting this project all over. First, I would not just tear the edges of the decoupage paper in a square fashion. I would tear it closer to the actual horses in and out. And the reason being is that even though I textured with tissue paper prior to applying the decoupage paper so that I would have that wrinkly effect over the entire piece, I could still see the line of where the decoupage paper was, because even though it was ripped, it was still too straight. And I knew better. I thought about it at the time, but I just went on with it as is. So that was my first mistake. What I'm having to do here is, because I could see that line, and other people might not even notice it, but I noticed it every time I looked at the piece, that my eye was drawn there and it bugged me to death. So I had to fix that. So what I'm doing here is using paint and more tissue paper to kind of cover up that straight line edge, to draw your eye away from that. The other reason I would tear it closer to the horses is because although the background of the paper beyond the horses was absolutely beautiful, I'm going to tell you, trying to match a glaze, a paint glaze, exactly to those colors and blend it toward the paper is next to impossible. And honestly, matching paint, matching glaze colors to something is something that I have always been able to do very well. But I was struggling with it. I was very, very close. But even if you think about it, even if you apply a paint glaze on top of something that's already colored, it's going to be darker. And you have to be able to blend it in. So after much trial and error, I said, okay, the only thing I can do is paint over that in my white color and have a clean canvas. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm carefully painting again with the Annie Sloan original and adding tissue paper here and there to kind of interrupt where you don't notice where that decoupage paper stops and starts. Now that my canvas is totally clean, I can start with my glazes. But prior to doing that, you want to make sure that you seal the whole thing. I used, let's see, what did I use? I used a satin sealer by Dixie Belle, and I'll let that dry thoroughly. Now, prior to adding a glaze, I like to kind of put a little dampness in the spot where I'm going to be applying the glaze. So I wiped it with a damp paper towel. And now I'll just let you watch how I applied the two glazes to create a background now for my horses.
comes down from Yellow Mountain on a dark tramp, then she rides on a pony she named Wildfire with a whirlwind by its side on a cold Nebraska night. Oh, they say she died one winter when there came a killing frost, and the pony she named Wildfire passed it down and saw in a blizzard he was lost. She ran calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. She ran calling wildfire. By the dark of the moon, I planted, but there came an early snow. There's been a hoot owl howling by my window now for 6 nights in a row. She's coming for me, I know. And on Wildfire, we're both gonna go. We'll be riding wildfire. We'll be riding wildfire. We'll be riding
As always, thanks for watching. Keep looking up and have a good one.